And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fusel, on a beautiful Sunday. Hope you can join us for live racing today. 11 races for you this afternoon. A bunch of big fields on the turf. Beautiful weather. Sunday brunch cooking for you. A couple nice carryovers. We'll tell you all about that in a couple minutes. But real quick, we got to recap a huge day yesterday. Fall Festival of Racing. The handle was way up, a little over 3.7 million in handle yesterday. That was way up over last year. So a big day, big crowd out here, and we had some exciting racing.
I love to see the turnout. Love to see when that apron is packed and everybody looked like they were having a good time. Handle was up. Positive handle performance there today, and some really good performances by some of the runners with an upset shot. Always thinking that Sensible Lady, they kind of blew things up. Got that pick 5 really going.
Couple big upsets. The Hall of Famer Edgar Prado with Always Thinking, a $52 winner for Godolphin Racing, and trainer Tom Albatrani. That was in the Sensible Lady Turf Dash. And how about the upset, the $22 upset in the feature yesterday, the 26th running of the Grade 3 Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash, presented by Express Bet. Talk us through it here. Turn it for home, Keith.
Well, let's see. I don't know if on the favorite, Lynch, if you got the memo that the rail wasn't really great that day, yesterday, I should say. You see the leader. He gets out, drifts out to about the 3 or 4 path. Unfortunately, Whitmore stuck down inside. Coming to the outside, Chubalicious rode the right path. 4 and 5, rode the wave, steadily, wore down.
Yeah, nice ride by Horacio.
Yeah.
Nice ride by Horacio Caramanos. That's his second win in the DeFrancis Dash. He won on Action Andy, right?
Yes.
Action Andy in the DeFrancis Dash. So a heads-up ride from our journeyman rider, Horacio Caramanos, taking the outside path there with Chubalicious. And congratulations to trainer Claudio Gonzalez. He's had this horse in his barn before. The owner sends the horse to Monmouth for the summertime and sends the horse here to Maryland for the wintertime. Claudio had the horse last winter, a good second to behind Imperial Hint in the Fire Plug. That's a tough stake last January, so not too much of a shock. Chubalicious pulling off the upset in the DeFrancis Dash. Congratulations to all the winning connections. Blue Moon Ace ran lights out for Robert Cole and Kevin Patterson.
Blue Moon Ace, didn't break super sharp, but it was hustled right to the front. Dictator, like I say, got off the inside and really held on quite gamely through the final 8th mile. He ran better than what I thought he would run. So that's off. Good, strong effort for the connections. A great claim, Robert Cole and Patterson.
And so Chubalicious, a $22 winner in the DeFrancis Dash. Prado, a $52 winner with Always Thinking. Some other memorable performances from yesterday. I think the 2-year-old filly in Dove Houghton's barn, Wise Gal by Einstein. The sky's the limit for this filly. Now 2 for 2. She was very impressive. She came wide with the rally and just blew him away. She crushed that field in the Salima.
Yeah, Stevie just got her to relax nicely mid-turn, and you knew that was over. I mean, once he tipped her out, she kicked on nicely to widen. A strong, promising second start. Future's bright for Wise Gal.
And so Dove Houghton, the winning trainer, she also won a stake race with the dam of Wise Gal, Spirited Game. Dove won the conniver, so now she wins a stake race with an offspring of Spirited Game. And this filly's by Einstein. Both their wins have been coming from off the pace. I would think she can go longer. The Breeders' Cup has juvenile races going long. I don't know if they have one for the fillies. It might just be one for the fillies and boys, but that'd be okay. I hope she's maybe nominated to the Breeders' Cup because I think she can go longer. Wise Gal, very impressive.
Yeah, that's always that tough decision for the owners, for the trainers. You're really good at one thing. I guess, looking at it, you see the breeding Einstein, but on the bottom side, that family was a lot of sprinters, if I'm not mistaken. So
maybe
tough call.
Tough call. Keep sprinting or go longer.
Maybe try the mile and see how that works and then work it back from there.
And the other juvenile race, the Laurel Fraternity yesterday, Therapist. I thought Wayne Potts had it there with Stroll smoking at 20-1 on the front end, but here comes Therapist for Christophe Clement. Nice ride by Daniel Centeno, who had 2 stakes wins yesterday.
Therapist did what most horses don't do. Break through the gate pre-race, was acting up a little bit, had an adjustment of the tack, had a little trouble, was squeezed out of the gate, but relaxed, shifted out a little bit green coming to the 8th pole, but boy, once she got out to the outside, leveled off to a big stride, just what she showed in debut. Yeah, big effort.
Okay, well, let's show it if we have the stretch run for the Laurel Fraternity. Thanks, guys. Historic race. And, here's Stroll Smoking, who gets in front in the stretch with at 20-1. I had this horse on my late pick 5. I'm hoping maybe 4 out of 5 at this point because I didn't have Chubalicious in the dash. But here comes Therapist from way back. It looks right now, it doesn't look like the horse gets up, but he does.
No, just like I say, was lugged in just briefly behind horses coming to the 8th pole. Once the jock got her out to the outside, she leveled off, and you see that. He wasn't really nervous. He was awfully confident the last couple strides, but let her just kind of go with her rhythm and just forged right ahead late. Yeah, another one there. Better sprinting.
Right.
Going to stretch out. You don't know. That's the beauty of this game, and the younger horses, and see how they progress.
So I think we saw some very talented horses yesterday. Even trainer Ronnie Cartwright would be proud of the winners we had here yesterday. And I think we can expect big things to come from them down the road. And maybe with those 2-year-olds, Wisegow and Therapist, maybe they go on and win some graded stakes this year and help get the Laurel Futurity and the Slema back to graded stakes action. And hopefully Troublelicious goes on, makes some noise, and maybe a grade 1. Get that to Francis Dash up to back up to a grade 1. So that was yesterday. Big day today. How about the carryovers we have for you today? There you go in the Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to start race 6 today on our 11-race program. Nice carryover in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, $5,092. And we have another carryover for you as well in race 1, the Rolling Super High 5. It's a 7-horse field in the opener, so we'll have that Super High 5 carryover a little shy of $2,500, low 15% takeout in that Rolling Super High 5. Let's get right to the action. Beautiful conditions today. Will be fast and firm, and the outside was playing well again on the main track yesterday. Your thoughts on the turf? So I think it was a pretty fair playing turf course yesterday.
We actually saw some horses make some pretty decent moves from several lengths off the pace, especially even like the 3/8 to mid-turn. So you can definitely close on this turf course. The dirt, you just kind of play that wait and see approach. We're going to ride the outside to get it going, and if it stays like that, we just stay on it. And like I say, I don't want to beat up jockeys or anything like that. I don't know what the whole plans were for Whitmore moving forward.
Right.
So I know one thing: he should have gotten a lot out of that race.
Right.
So that should propel him to his next start.
Down the road. And
doubt.
You mentioned closers on the turf. Nice ride, a picture-perfect ride by Forrest Boyce on the favorite on leave for Stuart Janney and Shug McGahee. They got the money in all along. Good to see Stuart Janney here yesterday at Laurel Park for Fall Festival of Racing. Let's get right to it here in the opener. Race 1 claiming 11,003 and up, going 7 furlongs on the main track, and we'll kick off the Rolling Super High 5, carry over 2,453. Race 1 will also kick off the early pick 5, industry low, 12% takeout, mandatory payout on the early pick 5. Starts in race 1. It's an interesting early pick 5, I think. In race 5, the last leg of the early pick 5, I think you have to go very deep in that race. That's a turf route race, and I think about every horse in the race has a shot. Let's take a look here at the opener. Going 7 furlongs. I love the one Blow the Whistle was going to be my top pick. That horse is scratched. So is the 2 Minor Legend is scratched, but we still have a very playable 7-horse field here for this Super High 5, and I end up on the favorite here, Negrito. Big drop in class here, dropping from 2 other than Allowance Company to this open 11 level here for Claudio Gonzalez. And how about the 7-pound apprentice jockey, Sabalos? He's riding very well. I've noticed a couple times in photo finishes. He's a good-looking young rider.
Right, and it looks like he's going to latch on to some of the better outfits around here. If he does, he's certainly going to improve. The more experience, the better. And what better barn? I mean, you're going to put on some live horses when you're riding for Claudio. So, Negrito. It was taking a rate last time. I expected a little bit better effort at Timonium. I don't know what happened, but you know what? They claimed this horse for 11 and got a win, a good second. Now we're dropping right back to the level. Yep. Expect this horse, especially in this field, going to 7 furlongs. The distance that he's been able to win at, he's going to be forward to stalk the pace. I think he takes aim of American Progress, another kind of a suspect dropper off the claim, who looks like the clear outside speed.
I didn't like the 9, but have real quick on Negrito. Look who he was second to 2 starts ago. It's a Journey who came back and won the Chaladon last week, and so popular favorite probably here in the opener of the 5, Negrito. The 9, I kept looking at this horse. This horse also comes out of that It's the Journey race last out, was claimed for $25,000. Farrier waits the 30 days, a jam job here. Jomar Torres had 2 wins yesterday. Yeah. This horse will get a trouble-free trip on the outside, has enough speed to get a good stalking trip, but I'm a little worried about the drop.
Yeah, no doubt. No, this is a tricky opener. I mean, Negrito, you've got to question. You've got to question American Progress. Clear the Runway could be speed. Could go ahead and send, which might be good for American Progress to have a little bit of a target and make a wide move into it. But Negrito looks like the most consistent. He fits at this level. North Ocean, another one at a mile to 7/8. A little freshening. Trainer does well. Route to sprint. North Ocean proven over this racetrack. He looks like a horse that likes things a little bit more his own up front. I don't know if he's going to get it, but Pimentel, he's the right kind of rider to rate and make a move.
How about the 9-year-old 7-furlong specialist, Grandy Shores for Robert Leaf Jr. This horse 15 for 19 in the money, going 7 furlongs, a 6-time winner at this distance. He's 0 for 5 at Laurel Park. A good second, though, 2 starts ago against Beaton 7500 Company. I was going 6 furlongs. He was making a wide bid that day. Didn't like Timonium. That was bad call on that old horse at Timonium. He gets back to a little softer, wider surface here today. I think going 7 furlongs, he'll be right there.
Yeah, he's fallen victim to Negrito and American Progress before, and another one. Looks like he wants it kind of hot and heavy up on the front end. I don't know if he's going to get that flow today.
All right, so nice salty group of 11 claimers going 7/8 on the main track to kick off the early pick 5. Let's take a look here. Race 2, a big field on the turf, going 1 mile and an eighth. 9 furlongs on the Fort Marcy rail at 87 feet, claiming $16,000 for 3-year-olds or older horses. Never won 3. I'm thinking the one, he's One Wild Dude, going to go right to the front with Sheldon Russell for trainer Ricky Silliman, a sharp winner 2 starts ago, going 1 mile here at Laurel against 16,000, 2 life. And the Monmouth didn't like it up there at Monmouth. Finished an okay 4th against 20,000, 3 life. I think with the speed from the inside, Russell's won the last race the last couple of days. See if he can find a winner's circle early on here today with the one, he's One Wild Dude.
Yeah, the 1 and the 2, they consistently run faster, and at this distance, they're both going to be okay. He's One Wild Dude. I think will get the jump on Mr. Magician. I like to try 3 races back at 1 mile and an eighth. He moves inside from that effort. He's tactical enough. He's got that one little pop move he can make in the middle of the race, which I think is going to be very effective against this field. I don't think there's any horse he's going to have trouble getting past, leaving the far turn. He opens up. Mr. Magician, though, he's the main factor. 2 races back in front of Speed Gracer, who came back to win an allowance race.
Yeah, and the second behind Special Envoy a couple starts ago in the Hansel. So, and Alex Centron riding extremely well right now. You hope Mr. Magician doesn't fall too far back and can use his inside post to his advantage, save some ground with cover, and be just about 3-4 lengths off it. So both Keith and I like 1-2 for the exacta. We both like the 11 here on the outside. The 9 I don't have. If I can get to the 11 here. Tambourine for trainer Neil Morris. Good second at this level. No, good second at Delaware last out behind a horse who came back to win. Neil Morris brings his own rider down here, Rodriguez here. You just hope Tambourine doesn't get caught too wide on that first turn.
He needs every break. I mean, because he likes to flatten out a little bit through that last furlong, mile and an eighth. I don't know. It might be a touch too much for him.
The 9 to 9. Leroy Brown's in town. Callie Francois has been riding well recently. She's been coming up the inside. She had a nice winner last weekend up the rail on the turf for Howie Wolf, and she'll fit this horse well here for Corrales.
Yeah, and the distance isn't going to be an issue. I know this horse can kind of grind all day. He's another one, though. He's like Randy Shores in the first race. Is he going to be enough speed to set it up? Because he's kind of become a little bit of a plotter, Stan. He falls way back and just chugs along. He's going to need things to fall apart in front of him.
All right, so a big field going long on the turf there in the second race. We'll see if the one, he's Wild Dude, can lead him all the way with Sheldon Russell aboard. We're back on the main track here for the third race, 5.5 furlongs maiden, claiming $25,000. Filly Mares 3 and up, and you have a stat here on a Jerry Robb first-time starter who I like. The 9 Sweet Sheba first-time starter by Congaree here for Jerry Robb.
Yeah, we've known Robb for years and years with the 2-year-olds. With the 2-year-olds, he's pretty sharp. But 3-year-olds, I looked at a stat. We've got a stat on that. If you go back 5 years, he's still about 30%. But over the last 5 years, 3 for 11 and 5 for 11 in the money with 3-year-old first-time starters with an ROI of $2.30. I should say over his career. He holds at about 30% with this type of runner. So he does okay with the 2-year-olds, does okay with the 3-year-old, smaller sample, but he hits. No doubt about it. It's profitable.
All right, and he gets Jevion Toledo to ride this Riser family homebred here, and should get a nice trip from the outside. I like the outside post here for this debut runner. Nice 5-furlong work from the gate September 9th. So I like the 9. I use that runner in my top 4, and if you're playing the early pick 5, I absolutely use the 9. It would be interesting to see if the money comes in on this first time or not. Hopefully we'll get a decent price because some other horses in here are going to get bet a lot.
The old Clever Trick mare, you see, going way back, Stan. The old Clever Trick. The siblings, she's kin to a 4-time winner and an 11-time winner. Winners in the family. Bodes well for the chances of the 9 Sweet Sheba.
All right, and we both have the 5 on top here. Crude from the John Service Barn went off 35-1 against Maiden Special Weight Company at Monmouth last year as a 2-year-old. So coming off about a year layoff here for this 3-year-old filly by Wildcat Air. You see, it didn't go very well last year. She was steadied after the break. Still a decent 4th. Got a respectable number there. Has been working well up at Parks. That was this will be the first start here for John Service. He's 31% with a positive ROI with new runners. And with horses coming off a layoff, he's 23%. So lots to like here. Alex Centron rides the favorite here, the 5 Crude.
Yeah, the only negative is probably the layoff. But you look at the trainer Service. First time with trainer, 31% positive ROI. Plus 180 days, 23% positive ROI. Made special weight to make. Every kind of angle, for the most part, works for Crude. A $40,000 purchase. This is the right kind of spot. $25,000 has some speed to run at. And that was a pretty productive race at Monmouth. The winner came back to run a decent, mid-60 number in allowance. I think this horse is going to be retooled, refreshed, and ready to make a run from off the pace.
So we both like the 5 on top. I think the speed with the 2 Party Spot's going to be right there. Led them all the way. Turner for Home was in front by 2 last out at Delaware in the debut against Maiden 20,000. Now cuts back a half a furlong to 5.5. Gets first-time Lasix today for trainer Tony Pecoraro. Brings Brian Pedroza down. The 2 Party Spot probably going to send from the inside and try to go all the way.
Pecoraro has a couple of runners in a day, similar form too. Showed good gate speed at Delaware before fading. Lasix goes on. All positive angles. You look just below the running lines of this horse. So Pecoraro, the key is, can this horse get clear and get off the inside? If that inside is definitely negative, Jock's going to have to do that. I worry a little bit, though, with the 11. Majestic Pick might apply a little pressure, right?
I had a late scratch, unless I'm wrong. Double check me, guys, in race 3 here. You have a late scratch on the 11 Majestic Pick. I just checked it right before. Okay, right before I came out here. I could have been wrong, but it was I think a late scratch there on the 11 Majestic Pick here. Okay, yeah, the 11's out.
Okay, well, that definitely helps the chances of Party Spot, because that filly put the blinkers on last time. It showed refound speed and could have pressed the issue. That can leave Party Spot alone. Yeah, I did not get that scratch. So I'm sorry about that.
Key late scratch and a late scratch on the 13 Hot Frisia, who I liked as well there in the 3rd race. So, all right, so an interesting maiden 25 on the dirt there in the 3rd race. We're back on the turf here for the 4th race. A very nice group of maiden special weight runners, filly and mares 3 and up. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy turf course, rail setting at 87 feet. How about you have a ticket here for the middle pick 4. Race 4 is going to kick off the middle pick 4. Yesterday, the middle pick 4, over 41,000 bet into it.
Strong. Gotta love it. I mean, bet these multi-race bets. They're they prove very, very productive at Laurel. The pick 5s, the pick 4s. Yeah, I'm going to take a shot, the middle pick 4. This is not an easy card whatsoever. A $36 ticket, and this middle stretch is not easy, but I think there's some value to be had. Going to go 2, 5, 6 to get it started in race number 4. Race 5, 3 deep as well. The 2, 7, and 12, like some prices in that race. Turning to the 6, we're going to spread a little bit with the 1, 9, 11, and 12. 2 long shots, definitely going to use to the outside in that race. And then the 7, the 5, and the 9, they look like the 2 horses to beat in race 7. You might get a little value on do what I say off of that last race. Might have dirtied up her form just enough. $36 ticket.
I like the fillies you have there in race 7, Northern Eclipse, and do what I say. I use both those fillies to kick off the late pick 5. That's a nice allowance feature, 2 other than allowance feature of the day there in race 7. So I like your middle pick 4 ticket. It starts right here in race 4. Nice maiden special weight. You have a stat here on trainer Alan Goldberg, who's going to have the favorite in here. Number 2, Goldwood, is 8-5 morning line for Goldberg in this race.
And I had to look twice, maybe 3 times at this stat when I pulled it up. I didn't quite believe it. But it's there, and it's probably going to put him right into the winner's circle. But over the last 2 years, Alan Goldberg, 0 for 23 with maidens on the turf in Maryland. 8 of those as favorite, and 16 of those at 5-1 or less. Lots of chances, and it hasn't gotten a winner yet out of that sample. It's crazy. I would have never thought that would have happened.
I talked to the guy probably about 1,000 times on the phone, taking entries from him, and he was always, right down to all business, very professional to deal with. Never met the guy, but I've always been a fan of his outfit. He'd always ship down here with live runners, especially on the turf. So I'm a fan of Goldberg. He was always nice to me. However, from a gambling perspective for race 4, I'm tossing Goldberg.
Okay.
He's been kind of cold this year. He brings down another jockey who's going to get an elbow from Caramano's coming out of the gate, another elbow from Gomez. This guy is going to get beat up. This horse doesn't have any early speed. Beaten favorite up there at Monmouth last out, July 16th. Where you been since then, Goldwood? I think he's just going to get beat up early on here on the inside. I'm tossing the favorite. And the stat you just showed, it gives me more reason to toss the favorite here.
You know what happens when talking heads like us do this?
Right to the winner's
circle. Go get your best suit and get ready for the picture. But yeah, we're here. We're trying to look for a little bit of value, and at 8 to 5, 7 to 5, with that stat. And I'm going to take another look at it when I get upstairs. But I could have sworn it was correct. We're going to go against Goldwood as well. I think the 5 Radiant Element for Rodney Jenkins ran real credible off of a little bit of a layoff last time out. Was down inside, took a lot of pressure before going clear. Just couldn't hold off late. Fear No Evil got the best of him. I know Fear No Evil was beaten by Goldwood, but I think Radiant Element kind of, if no horses from the outside show a ton of speed, can relax maybe off of more to adore the horse to its inside and get the jump on Goldwood.
All right, so we both like the 5 here. Stevie Hamilton, Rodney Jenkins, right to the front. Let's see, Rodney Jenkins 26% with horses second off of brief freshening like the 5 Radiant Element, 3-year-old filly by the Factor, very fast horse, and he's throwing speed runners as well. How about this first-time starter? I'm going to throw in the exacta here. The 8 Celebrating. They paid $112,000 for this daughter of City Zip at the Fasig-Tipton 2-year-old sale. This is the Comlow family here, the Hornings and the Comlows. Bill Comlow, the trainer, had a nice long shot winner a couple days ago with Jumpstart My Heart on the turf with Katie Davis aboard. So I'm going right back to these connections who scored with a nice price winner. That was Friday, I believe. This horse with some nice works here by a fast $50,000 sire, City Zip, out of a Lemon Drop Kid mare, bred by the McGinnises down there in Kentucky. Should get a nice trip on the outside here with Katie Davis.
Certainly bred to handle any surface. We know City Zips, they can run on broken glass. Half the Mending Fences, who was 2 for 9 on the grass. Some decent races, going long. 2 for 9, going long on the grass. Maybe Celebrating even further down the road. We'll go ahead and stretch out, but certainly a danger in this questionable field of race 4.
All right, nice maiden special weight turf sprint there to kick off the middle pick 4. Over 41,000 bet into yesterday's middle pick 4, so take note of that. Let's take a look here, race 5, and then we'll get a commercial break after race 5, guys, and then race 6 kicks off that nice pick 6 carryover today. Race 5, we're going a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course, 25,000 starter allowance, optional claiming 25,000 here. 7-11, the exacta for me, the 7 Believing Angels. This is a race I think you can go very, very deep in this race. A bunch of nice horses in here for strong connections. You can make a bunch of cases for horses in here. So I'll go with the 7 Believing Angels, 6-1 morning line. You get Alex Centron aboard for Clyde Martin. The last 2 times on the turf here at Laurel Park with Centron, boom, right to the winner's circle. This is a nice betting race. Whoever the favorite is in here, who's the favorite? Going to be about 3-4 to 1 in here.
I would think so. I think the betting's going to be spread. Well, Blast for Delacour, I think will be the favorite. I've got mine at 7-2. May shouldn't go down a little bit off of that. But
going to try to clear from the outside with Centeno.
Yeah, and also, but we'll have some company. Keep your distance for Kieran from the inside. Chucky Furlong shouldn't be too far out of it. A good race over the grass, 2 races back. But I think the positives with Believing Angels, one, Centron gets along with his filly perfectly. Yep. I mean, they work in unison together. He knows how to get her relaxed and make that run. And the way she ran down the lone speed last time, I think she's going to get a little bit more flow. It'll be a better trip even for Believing Angels. I still think she'll be a square price. I don't think she gets any lower than 4 to 1 in here.
It's a great betting race here. I like the 11 Well Blessed on the outside. That's going to be one of your favorites, along with the 7 Believing Angels. But you can make I can make a case for the 2 Untaken. She was a nice turf debut against Stakes Company at Monmouth earlier this summer. Has run a couple nice races since then. Forrest Boyce aboard for trainer Corby Cayazzo, Trombetta, and J.D. Acosta with the 3 live connections there. The 12, Expect a Kitten. First off the claim for Mary Epler. Horacio Caramanos will get a nice price on that one. The 6, Fed Up, Fired Up, always comes with a late run. Stevie Hamilton and Donnie Barr. This is a deep field here. I can make a case for the Jeff Runco horse. How about Jeff Runco shipping into town yesterday, getting the money at 10-1. So the 8, the Chef Karen getting back on the turf one more time here. So you can make a Lacey Gaudette with a nice price here. The 9, Over Dramatic. You can make a bunch of cases here. Kieran McGee first off the claim with the 10, Mathilda Strevenu with Pimentel. I might have to hit the all button here in this late pick 5.
It looks like
in the early pick 5, hitting the all button in race 5.
It looks like a spread race. Untaken. I went back and watched that race at Monmouth. 3 races back in July in the Boiling Springs. That was the only turf race that stayed on that day. The only race that they kept on the turf. Didn't run terribly. It was down inside pretty much every step of the way. Didn't get a lot of pace to run at. Kept on willingly once angled off the inside. And the top 2 finishers did kind of come high and wide to win that race. I'll give Untaken another shot coming right back on the turf.
All right, so a deep field here in race 5. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start with race 6, which kicks off that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Today's carryover, a little over 5,000. We'll start with this. We'll start with that right after this. Okay, welcome back. Today at the race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Keith Fustel here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Now Sunday brunch is cooking up for you. We have some nice carryovers today. All the football action you can win on the second floor of the clubhouse at the sports bar. And there's that carryover in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, $5,092. It starts in race 6 here. Let's take a look. We're going 5 furlongs on the main track here for the 6th race. Maiden claiming $40,000 for 2-year-olds. And I'm going to go with the 1 Fenton's 4 on top here, but I think the 6 Parade of Freedom should have galloped at Timonium, got ran down by a Curlin first-time starter for Meyerhoff and Trombetta, Broad Expanse. I think the 6 Parade of Freedom is going to be awfully tough on the front end today here for John Lloyd and Bernie Houghton, but the 1 Fenton's 4, man, the one, I don't like the inside post, but this horse has some early speed, first-time gelding today, and this horse has been running against some monsters, Stroll Smoking, Dynamic Asset, Cord Maker, who just came back to run over top of horses and still won the other day. So the 1's just been keeping some strong company.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the outside with horses talking about the key horses. Cord Maker, the 11, Poplar Avenue is going to be a top selection. Was out of that race with Fenton's 4 and Free to Trump for trainer Brandon McFarland. I thought this horse ran sneaky good. The blinkers go on. Was a bit of a bad actor before the race, but really came on good late.
Right.
You don't really see it through run line and line. Made it look like only gained a length and a half late. This horse was trying to the wire, and I think there's an abundance of speed in this race. The Rail got the best of another Claudio runner yesterday when it was Marty with the Party, who was down inside and just faltered. Flat Out Mind for Pecoraro is going to add a lot to this pace, going to force the issue. Let's take a shot with some bombs. The 11 Poplar Avenue is going to be my top selection for Lacey Gaudette. Might come down a little bit off the 12-1, was 13-1 in debut. Was pretty much poised pretty well about the 2 path around the turn and just faded. I like first time gelding. The Lasix goes on. Poplar Avenue to pull a little bit of an upset, kind of a stalk and a sweeping move. All
right, now going with the outside horses here. A nice group of 2-year-olds in this race. And, if the Rail's a little dead today, that could compromise the favorite here, the 1 Fenton's 4. The 6 I use in the exact. I think this Freedom Child Colt ran very good at Timonium behind an expensive winner, Broad Expanse. So I think the 6 will be right there. How about the Not for Love first-timer on the outside for trainer Keith Nations? Number 10 loves that dash by Not for Love. Has been working well up there at Delaware. Bullet 5 furlong work in August. Get Joe Moore Torres. Should get a good outside trip as well. You might catch a nice price here in race 6.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's what we're shooting for. I'm hoping the inside stays the way it is. maybe choose up some of the speed, and we can get some outside sweepers at some big prices.
So probably have to go deep in that first leg of the pick six to stay live, and maybe you get a nice price. Race 7 is going to be one of our features of the day, a 2 other than allowance condition. Optional claiming $25,000, going 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy rail at 87 feet. I have a ticket here for the late pick 5. No carryover today, but we didn't have any carryover yesterday. And what that late pick 5, I was thinking here that it was going to pay 4 out of 5, maybe 3 out of 5, and I see the will pays. They're all live to either 10 or 20,000. The late pick 5. I have a ticket here. Sorry, guys, but throw up the late pick 5 for me. Late pick 5 yesterday paid $20,000 with no carryover. So that's why I'm going to spend a few extra bucks. $64 ticket for me today on the late pick 5. Let's see if we can get a big payout like yesterday. I'm going 2 deep here in race 7, the 5 and the 9. Northern Eclipse and Do What I Say. You like those fillies as well. Race 8, I'll go 4 deep in there. It's a tough allowance turf sprint. Race 9's a maiden special weight fillies, 2-year-olds going a mile in the dirt. I'll go 4 deep in that race. Race 10 is a nice starter allowance going a mile on the turf. I love the 8 Tennessee Wildcat in there and the 4 Kid Jeter. Then in the last race, an open 15,000 turf sprint. I love the 4 MC Squared and the 5 The Great Provider in there. So it's a nice late pick 5, a bunch of nice races here in the sequence. And it starts off with one of our features of the day here, nice upper level allowance contest. And we both like the same fillies in here. The 5 Northern Eclipse. What a nice claim by owner Toby Roth and trainer Hugh McMahon. They've had a lot of, they made about 100,000. They claimed her for 16,000 last November. They gave her the winner off. They brought her back in May. They made 100,000 with her. That's how you do the claiming game with turf horses.
Yeah, he's had some success with these turf sprinters, reaching in and grabbing them and moving them up. And Northern Eclipse is another one, and she's. You look at first of this race, there's plenty of speed, and she doesn't need the lead, though. I think she's got a good rating gear. She loves the Laurel turf course. She's going to make a move right into it. It's going to be that last little bit, though. We always talk about it. Can she quite sustain? Sylphide's going to take them a long way. You've got She's Stunning. Maggie's Freudian Slip to the outside, an honest pace. She's really going to have to be on her game to sustain. I think things set up beautifully for Do What I Say. Called a yielding course last time. Might have been even a little bit too close to the pace stand last time out behind Northern Eclipse. You go to that 2-back try with trouble, winning the Tyson Gilpin with a big, big run. I think this horse is going to draft up behind horse, maybe make a run like Therapist did yesterday. Just kind of sit there with some cover, tip out, and come rolling.
Well, I'm going to have both of them on my late pick 5. We'll probably get a little better price on the 9, Do What I Say. Centron's going to be very dangerous on the outside. So 5-9 for me, 9-5 for Keith here in the 7th race. You have the 3 in there. I toss this horse. I think she's going to get covered up. Where has she been since that July race at Saratoga? I just think she's going to be this bug girl. Castrenzi's a good riding apprentice rider. Nothing against her, but I think she's going to be in a lot of traffic with a bunch of horses on her outside going to far back going in that first turn.
Yeah, she's going to she's found herself well back. I think she's got enough flow up front though that some of that speed's going to come back. I like the freshening, a really good try in the very one. Only a few lengths behind Everything Lovely. Elusive Joni, a little freshening here. This horse will make a wide run. I think so.
All right, so nice 2 other than turf sprint to kick off that late pick 5. The late pick 4 starts in race 8, going 5.5 furlongs on the all along first level allowance contest for 3-year-olds and upward. And we have a video spotlight here of the 8 Miners Quest. The Wolfendale barn and owner Russ Gorley, they protected this horse for a long time, never dropped them from the allowance condition. They find a nice starter allowance last out, and they get the money second off the layoff.
You see the horse highlighted there. Thanks, guys. Number 4 gets bumped and squeezed in most recent effort. And we've talked about this time and time again. Going this 5.5 for a long distance is awfully tough to do. But Cintron got this horse into gear, got this horse under a drive, leaving the 3 ace pole, and is just dead determined. He's at the age of 6 right now. And that's his top number. That's as good as he's running, and he just spurts away. Roby's Boy makes a good run at him, looks to threaten. Now a little not actually I can say green, but a little drift there, a little wander when switching to that left lead. But Miner's Quest, really strong to the wire. This is not really a major step up at all. I think it's a lateral move to this allowance race where he ran big, just beating a neck. He's a factor, no doubt about it, in this race. He's in great form right now for Howard Wolfendale. Yeah,
and he ran down Roby's Boy in that race, who came back and won for fun. Now they have this horse in really good form, and they still have the A other than allowance condition, which I think he's got a good shot to get today. I use the 8 Miners Quest in my exacta with Centron aboard for Howard Wolfendale. I like the 12 on the outside. outside. I think with speed on the outside here for the 12, Top Hat City from the Wayne Potts barn. Potts almost got the money with Stroll smoking in the Laurel Fraternity yesterday. I think he's going to get the money here with his 3-year-old son, is City Zip, who whistled last out against Maiden Special Weight Company, sprinting on the turf on a yielding turf course, won by 5. Got an 84 Beyer speed figure in that race. Now he's facing winners for the first time in a tough allowance race. He's a young 3-year-old facing a seasoned horse like Miner's Quest. He's going to have his running shoes on. I'm hoping Toledo can just get to the front and open up and go all the way here from the outside.
Yeah, I don't know how fast Top Hat City is really, and was that an aberration over the yielding course? I'm not so sure. He is quick, though. There's not a ton of horses that want to go right to the front. Maybe Motown Rhythm to the inside will add to the pace flow, but I stick with the 3. I know Toledo gets off of Best Yes, goes over to ride Top Hat City. I can see you kind of glance, runs the 84 Beyer, but I think Best Yes, perfect sprinting on the turf. This horse a little freshing. Robbie Bells, he gets these horses, they win right back. I have no problem with Best Yes to get a good trip under Sheldon Russell.
Yeah, for a 4-time winner from 6 starts here at Laurel Park. Russell starting to heat back up, so I like the 3 Best Yes there. Nice allowance turf sprint there in race 8 to kick off the late pick 4. I guess we better speed it up here. First race coming up here. I got to refine my early pick 5 ticket here. See if I can do the double pick 5 Sunday fun day thing again here today. Nice maiden special weight though here in race 9, going a mile on the main track for 2-year-old fillies. A bunch of nice ones in here. I'll go with the Cal Lynch filly on the outside, the 9 Theodosia 2-year-old filly by exchange rate. She was 10-1 last time at Delaware, but made a nice late move to finish 3rd, going 5.5 furlongs. I think this filly wants extra ground. Yeah, she was a beaten favorite 2 starts ago here at Laurel, but beaten behind a buzzsaw, Jahazo Cat for Delacour and Lay L stables that day. I think this filly wants more ground. She'll get a nice trip on the outside here. The 9 Theodosia, my top pick.
Yeah, tricky little race. These horses stretching out, trying the mile distance. I like how Grease Lightning has had now the 2 sprints. You see Flat Out Quiet America. This horse should be able to kind of, should really appreciate, I should say, the extra ground for trainer Ham Smith. I'll go to the inside, Scary Not Scared. But the one thing I wear inside, usually doesn't. Well, on the way this course has been playing, yeah, maybe this horse can take back and make a move. Got a lot of respect at the windows, 3-1 up at Saratoga. Ran for about a quarter of a mile and then just spit it. Blinkers come off. We just know the angle with this barn, the way they did it. They had him one the other day. The 2-year-old ran big, second time out. I think Scary Not Scared is a half. I should say the mare is 4 for 8 with dirt routes. Stakes winner. It's there. The breeding's there. I think you'll see a drastic improvement for the 1 second time out.
Took some serious money up there in debut at Saratoga, maiden special weight, 8-horse field, and they bet this filly down to about 3-1. So somebody likes something about this filly. She'll make a big improvement here. DePaz 25% with maidens making their second start. So I use her in my top 4. How about the 2 here? Ultimate Challenge from the John Service Barn. First time Lasix today for this daughter of Curlin. She's well bred. They paid $260,000 for her at the OBS March sale earlier this year. Alex Cintron takes the call here. The filly didn't run very well a couple months ago up there at Parks in her debut against maiden special weight. She went off about 3-1, never in contention. You see the comment line there. She'll do better, I think, here today. First time Lasix with Cintron aboard.
This 9th race is a tough race. If there's a race on the card, you could say, it's 9 horses, you might be able to afford it, all button. This might be the one. I think Theodosia has shown the most, but it's the stretch out to a mile. A lot of question marks. Horses that took a lot of play in debuts that really didn't pan out. Now they're getting another chance. This would be my all ticket. I'll punch if I could.
Well, we both like the 8, and we'll get a decent price on the 8, Delta House. At least she has 2 routes under her belt, 2 turf routes up there at Saratoga against maiden special weight. She didn't run too bad up there for Gary Contusson. Now this filly by Animal Kingdom gets blinkers on. Sheldon Russell, at least from a fitness standpoint, she's got to be right there going a mile.
No doubt. Has the bottom. The blinkers go on. No doubt they're looking for a return on investment. A $310,000 purchase out of a graded stakes winning mare. The Delta House, better get it going soon.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 10 is going to kick off the late daily double. We're going a mile on the all along. 25,000 starter allowance Optional claiming 25,000. I love the 8 Tennessee Wildcats. Been in great form the last 3 starts since Hammy Smith sent this gelding by Twirling Candy long on the turf. He's really found new life. Edwin Gonzalez was aboard for the maiden special weight win 2 starts ago. A good third last out behind Dat Melody on a yielding turf course. Gets back to the firm turf course today. Edwin Gonzalez, 128 wins on the year. I met him the other day in the jocks room. That's a lot of wins for the year, and he had a nice win on this Hammy Smith horse a couple starts ago.
Yeah, my original top selection was scratched. That was the 6. Want to Be a Player is now out. Really, taking a look at this race, visualize how's it going to set up. I'm honestly not so sure. I know one thing: Tennessee Wildcat has improved. They've stuck with this horse. His figures are strong compared to the rest of the field. Consistently better the last couple. He'll be up closer than normal with this field, and I think he can grind out a victory.
All right, we both like the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado, fresh off that $52 score yesterday in the Sensible Lady. He'll be right there with the 4 Kid Jeter for Kelly Rubley. This horse a good third. Last out against Starter Allowance Company up there, Delaware, going a mile. Didn't run too bad 2 starts ago at Saratoga. Kid Jeter should be right there for a strong outfit.
Showed
today.
A little life, moves outside back to the inside a little bit. Yeah, it goes from that 10 hole to 4. I think this horse will be somewhere in mid-pack. Another one, just kind of like a grinding type, a steady progression. Might get it done today, that kind of tact. I like Tennessee Wildcat. The 9 King Co. I'm going to use in. Pretty big, nice fig. A big improvement second time out. Tried to get that horse on the turf. That race came off and was a beneficiary. Runs a 73 buyer. Looking at some other handicapping tools, that number came up big for King Koa. Top and bottom, spring at last, Empire Maker, Mare. Turf shouldn't be an issue.
And she gets, he gets my favorite long shot rider now, Katie Davis aboard for Corby there. So a nice turf route to kick off the late daily double there in the 10th race, and a salty group for you in race 11. Wide open claimers here, claiming 15,000, 3 and up, 5.5 on the Fort Marcy rail at 87 feet. A nice group of old hard knockers in here. I'll go with the 4 MC Squared. The last 2 days, Sheldon Russell has won the last race. Let's see if he can sweep the weekend here. MC Squared at this level for Hugh McMahon, I think is going to be very dangerous. Last time we saw this horse on the sprinting on the turf here at Laurel, that was last April against 2 other than Allowance Company. Very strong second that day to Oak Bluffs. Only a couple races since then, hasn't gone very well, but now taking a drop in class here for Strong Connections.
Yeah, it's an interesting move. He's got 2 horses right next to each other with very similar running styles. Both kind of need to lead types. I think MC Squared maybe has a little bit more ability to come from just off of it. I like the Great Provider. The 2-back try was strong. He chased Billy the Bull 3 races back. I think he can clear and get the jump on the field and go ahead and take him wire to wire. I really fear to the outside that Where's Dominic. I know he hasn't won on the grass. He's going to make a run going from synthetic to turf. Look at that ROI for angle for Trombetta over $5. Where's Dominic? He's run against the right kind on the turf, just beating the neck, and head came back against the wind. They're the right kind of horses. This horse will be rolling late with Centron.
We have a Centron. We get a nice price there on the 10. So a nice 15,000 claimer to finish up the weekend here. Best of luck if you're live and all your will pays going into the last race today. $20,000 late pick 5. That's what they hit yesterday. Nice carryover today in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 5,000. Dave Rodman, he'll be up next with all of today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.